Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Legoland 5. Today we've got a very large project, and I'm excited to get it started and finished. But I want to show you the little progress I've made on the project already. If you haven't noticed, you might before too long, but it's taken me probably about 8 hours just to get what little I've done so far. And it doesn't sound that fun. And it really isn't. I also did this, Big Sally, put the name on the coaster. I like the way that turned out. But if I turn here, you can see the jungle, I almost said forest. The jungle is kind of barren. I don't have any ender pearls. Just swim over. So I cleared out quite a massive area. I finished that over there. And I also went from that tree line up over this hill. If I jump over all this, you can just see it's such a large area. And I did watch a lot of YouTube videos while I was doing this, so I didn't just cut trees down for hours. I was slightly entertained while doing so. Also tamed some cats, but you can just see how big this area was and how much time it took to do. If you guys ever do something like this, don't. It's pretty painful. But if we go over here, we're gonna see the jungle temple. This is where we started out, and I actually cleared out giant space going all the way to it. And I'm planning on making this kind of just like a hut for the builders up until a certain point at least. Kind of just to spend the night while we're working on Legoland. And we can maybe eventually turn it into like a first aid hut or something. And here's the portal. If I jump over here, I wish I had my ender pearls on me. Yeah, that was a lot of trees. Now, the old jungles, the way they used to generate, it would have been pretty easy to do, and you would have gotten a lot of wood for your time. But we've got these giant oak trees, which are really terrible. And then we also have, if I can find one, these, where you have to dig in a couple blocks in order to get your piece of wood. But I've got a slightly more evil way of doing things. And, well, I think this can only be settled and fully enjoyed in a time lapse. So let's go ahead and begin. And that was a lot of fire. If I turn around, you can see just the amount of area that we destroyed. Oh my goodness, that was a lot of trees. There's still a little bit of remnants from it. A little bit, more like a lot, but this area is completely destroyed. And I think what we're gonna do is this entire island is going to be its own biome. And I guess not biome, but it's going to be its own theme in Legoland. So you can just see the vastness of this area, and it was it's kind of hard to tell how big a jungle is if it's got a bunch of trees. But once you cut everything down, man, it really is quite huge. I have logs for days too, so I've been I'm prepared to build just about anything. And actually, if we go over here, we can see just a few things that I have built. I think we're going to work on the sign later this episode. But I don't have my pass with me. I'm just going to use the cheat. Here we've got the gift shop. I went ahead and built the outside of it. Inside we'll decorate sometime. And then also over here, we've got the entrance to the brick monument. And if you look up, that's pretty cool. And down here, it's going to be a big room with some stuff in it. But I'm not going to show that room again, at least not for a while. I want it to be kind of like a surprise when you download the map. So I guess we want to work on the sign above my head right now. So I'm going to gather some supplies, and I'll be back when I'm ready. Okay, so I've gathered resources, and we're going to try to see how far we can get on the sign. I drew up a diagram of it. And signs have always been one of my favorite things to build because they look so nice when you're done. Okay, I haven't looked at it yet, but I'm thinking it's gonna look really nice. Oh, of course it lands in the water. I do really have some iconic memories of Legoland 3, and that's why I went with the theme. But let's look at it right now. Okay. I do like it, but there's a couple things wrong with it. I wish the V was a little more pronounced. And the G is too wide. The D we could fix. I think if we shrink the end letters by 1, it would look better. Let's go ahead and do that. Now I think that's a lot better. But we need some lights for when it's nighttime. And hopefully mobs don't spawn on there too often. But I think these end rods will do just what we want. And I'll add them real quick. And now it's all lit up. But I see one problem. The white border, the white V, it only goes 3 blocks over there, but it goes 6 over here. maybe even 7. And I think that's kind of just because of the L, because it's only 3 at the top and 5 at the bottom. So we could change that real quick. Yeah, I think that feels quite a bit better. But it is really nice to finally have main entrance sign. This ticket still is really bad looking. But I think this will work for a while. Hopefully I don't decide to change it, but I could be more satisfied with it. I do like the blue and white theme that we're going with. I think it looks really clean. So now let's work on a project that I've been kind of putting off because I'm not entirely sure what we should do with it. That's this little hallway that goes underground and spits you out on this beach. Now I think the easiest thing to do with this beach is just to level it and just make it a little bit more organic. Maybe raise this up just to probably here, because this is a little too high. But from here all the way to the entrance, we could do something a little bit better than just a typical thing like that. And I want the entrances to the games to be something about like this big. Maybe a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit smaller. But I think that'll work. And I think we should do ceiling this high. Don't want it any less high, because it'll feel really crowded and it'll restrict what we can do. So clean that out. Oh, and I'm just outside of the range of the beacon, so that makes this kind of obnoxious. It goes back and forth rather quickly. So I think this will work out pretty well for us. And okay, yeah, this is a good size. Now we don't want dirt to be the top of it, because that just doesn't feel very good. So let's get rid of that. Okay, so I think the stone looks a lot nicer, and it just kind of wraps around. And over here we can switch this to stone real quick, like so. There we go. Round that off. Okay, so this is looking pretty good. I want to mix in leaves. This is too boxy too. Let's figure out a way to... I think we want the games to stick out, so we can take these out. And then put some sort of decorative feature here. There's a pool of water back there. So maybe leaves or grass blocks. Could do carpets. I think that would work out pretty well too. And I want to mirror this probably on the other side. This segment, yeah, I think we could alter them too. So we're going to have a stairway here that probably will wrap up and go on top. It'll just be one main attraction up here, and it might loop around to the dock, the boardwalk, which will loop around, probably follow the shoreline. Something like that I think would look real neat. And then if we go down here, we've got the gaps in between each of these, and there'll be 2 attractions on this side and 3 on this side. So now we gotta do something hanging from the ceiling to make it feel just a little bit nicer in here. Okay, so I added quite a bit of stuff. You got your path going up here, and also made this feel a little bit kind of like a cave. And we've got our 5 attractions, and this will go up here and stop at some sort of attraction. I want to do some sort of just looks good. What's that called? Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. Purely cosmetic, I guess. It has no function. Like some twirly coaster, you can't actually do anything in the game that enables the ability to make something like that, but you get the idea that it's a thing. Anyways, we got some hidden lighting. Not in this one. Not in that one. I thought I put... Oh yeah, you can. You can barely see it. Maybe it is in these two. But my goal is to make it really hidden. And I can't even find it now, so I guess it's doing its job. This one you can kind of see. And that'll help with spawns. Let's hope they might still spawn. So as we work on this last little bit of path, I'm going to talk a bit about my upload schedule. And I'm kind of upset that of my schedule lately. It's been really obnoxious for me, at least. And I'm not too happy with it, but I don't really have a choice because it's school is taking up a lot of my time, and also I've been working 3 days a week, which isn't that bad. It's only like an hour at a time, but on top of school, it takes quite a bit of time away, and won't be able to do hardly any recording, which is fine. My goal is with YouTube isn't to, push myself to make a whole bunch of content. That's not really that fun if you force yourself to do something you don't want to do. The real goal is to have fun while doing so. I think I just do slabs like this, right? That would be just a slab. Yeah. And because that's my goal, is just to have fun and kind of teach you guys, at least with my command block series, how to do stuff. I don't try to push myself to put out content, but I do have I have plenty of ideas for fun stuff. I've got a really good idea that I think would be interesting for people to watch. I won't tell you guys what it is, but just know if you see like new content, you'll know I've thought over it for quite a while, because I'm getting to the point where, let's light that up. I'm getting to the point where I don't want to start a series, get a few episodes in, and then kind of just say, hey, I'm not having fun. And clearly you guys, oh, okay. Clearly you guys aren't finding it that interesting. Ideally you want both, but if either the viewers find it really interesting or fun, or you have a lot of fun doing it, then that's fine. If it's not either of those, then there's no point in doing it at all, right? So trying to find the balance of that is going to be challenging, but I want to make pretty high-end content with this new series that I'm going to do, and it'll be, I guess I could classify it as map making. So I might put it in the map making playlist. I'm not sure, actually. I think I'll start a new playlist. But you guys just have to wait and see if I decide to go through with my plan. Okay, so do we want this to go left? No, I don't think so. I think this path should strictly be some attraction up here. And I'll save that for later, because I'm not entirely sure what we should do up here. Here it's going to turn into, probably turn left, be a couple things or just one game, and then it'll go into the boardwalk that's over there. That'll follow along the shore. So I think we're gonna have fun. Another thing is that I wanted to talk a little bit about is that I haven't been, I haven't posted for 3 weeks probably. Might even be 4 weeks by the time this gets up. And that's because of my schedule, of course. And also, originally I wanted to do Legoland every week. And thinking about that, it's just not logical. There's so many videos of people just doing stuff, watching people do stuff. I don't know who the other guy is. It's just kind of, the market's flooded, I'm sure everybody's aware of that. This is not lit up. And due to that, I'm going to go purely on making content show my progress, and making a whole lot of progress, really showing kind of my mental processes while doing so. And then I could just use it if nobody watches it, which is fine. I'll be honest, I don't care that much about views. I mean, it's always comforting, or rewarding, makes you feel a lot better about yourself. But I would much rather have the documentation of how I solve different problems and see my mental thinking. And whenever you go back and watch old videos, you do find it actually quite enjoyable if you've ever had a YouTube channel. Oh, I see you. And I've gone back and watched a few of my old videos, and they do remind me of, it puts me back in that time. And that's kind of what I'm hoping maybe this series might do. When I rewatch them later, and maybe it's just like a couple years later, I'll say, hey, I remember doing that. Oh, that's, I don't know. I'll entertain myself, let's say. That's pretty much what I'm getting at. So that's a lot of talking, not much play. But in the next episode, we gotta do something. We did the giant forest burning this episode. That was pretty fun. I like that. Editing the oh, there's a creeper blast here. Okay. Editing the footage for the burning, that was pretty fun. Syncing it to the music. So yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm just about ready to start the new section of Legoland. We're almost done with, not almost done, but we pretty much got Classic all mapped out. I think either Wild West or Pirates was requested next. So if it's Pirates, we'll probably do it over there along the shore. If it's Wild West, I'm going to coat the entire grassland of a big section with sand, and well, that'll be a large job, to say the least. Well, anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and as always, Have a great day.